It's Friday in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and I want to speak to you on the encouragement, subject of encouragement. I'm going to give you a contrast of two stories. A boy was very interested in a young girl, and she was quite obvious that he was interested in her. And the girl came to the little boy and said, "Did anyone ever tell you how wonderful you are?" The little boy was really crushed, and he thought, "Boy, this is sweet. I'm going to say, no, I never had anybody tell me how wonderful I was," waiting for a good word. Then she said to him, "Well, then how did you ever get that idea?" And I'm sure he was at that point truly crushed, but in a different way. A number of years ago, and I mean a lot of years ago, we were raising our son, and it was always a chore to get him to cut the grass. He would always put it off until one day I thought I would use some of the principles that I was being taught in management about positive statements and positive encouragement. And one day when I came home, he had finally cut the yard, and I took him out in front of the yard and said how wonderful the yard looked. Then I went in and got my wife and my daughter and brought them out and showed him how nice the yard looked. And he was still waiting for me to say but I never said but. I just continued to say what a nice job he had done cutting the yard. And to make a long story short, I want you to know I never had to ask him to cut the yard again. The power of encouragement is an incredibly powerful tool. If you're having difficulty with a child or with your mate, why not you try some encouragement? I mean, it has to be legitimate, it has to be sincere, and he had done a good job cutting the yard that day. But it's amazing the power of positive encouragement. If you just would think about how much power you have in the words that you say to others, if you would just realize what the scripture says. Here's what Hebrews 10:24 says: "Let us consider how to stimulate one another to love and good deeds." Proverbs 16:24 says, "Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." Proverbs 12:25 says, "Anxiety in the heart weighs down a person, but a good word makes a heart glad." Yes, the encouragement that we offer to one another is an incredible, powerful tool. And when your Sunday school teacher teaches a really good lesson, and you tell him what a great lesson it was and how it blessed you, and maybe even a couple weeks later how you applied it to your life, I guarantee he will study harder, or she will study harder, and the lessons will get better and better. I promise you, Pastor, if you will encourage lay people in your church with words of encouragement that are sincere based on something that they've done, something that they've said, something that they've accomplished, you'll be seeing them act just like my son did in cutting the grass. And congregation, if you'll just encourage your pastor when he preaches a really good message, and you can see that he's really prepared well, and it's coming directly from his heart, tell him, encourage him, because you'll be surprised how much better a pastor he can be when he's encouraged. Yeah, the power of encouragement. Don't be negative like the gal that said, "Well, whoever gave you that idea that you were so wonderful?" But be like Hebrews, considering ways to stimulate one another to love and good deeds. That's your New Year's thought. I hope you'll make a New Year's resolution to look for ways of encouraging one another, particularly in the area of spiritual good deeds and good things. It's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.